Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.
So glad to be with you again for another edition of Secrets. I'm Kevin HARNED, and what a fun show we have planned for you today. Everything from French food, Cuban cuisine, to a healthy serving of beef, all at one of the region's top steakhouses. Jeff Ruby's has been a staple in Cincinnati for years and a magnet for celebrities during Derby time in Louisville. And now, Jeff Ruby's has completed the Triple Crown with his latest jewel in downtown Lexington.
We cook a lot of steaks.
It's famous for steak. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything that tops this. But the Jeff Ruby's experience goes way beyond the beef. Let's check in with my broadcast partner, Tim Laird, for more about that.
Kevin, this place is amazing, and you're right, they do have incredible steaks, just about any cut you want, or any style, including my favorite, the COLLINSWORTH. Named after former Cincinnati Bengal Chris Collinsworth.
That's our version of the Oscar style. 3 pieces of asparagus, a little bit of crab meat, and it's finished with a nice béarnaise that we make in-house.
The steaks are amazing, and so is the atmosphere at Jeff Ruby's. Every seat makes you feel like you're in the lap of luxury. The dining room is awash in red velvet until you get to the Wildcat room, which bleeds blue. From the fixtures to the furniture, it's full of UK history from wall to wall. For a Cats fan, this is like heaven. And whether you're a fan of steak or seafood, they have you covered. There's even a raw bar with sushi rolled by Chef Thomas Onko, who grew up in Lexington before heading out on a 30-year adventure that took him from Hawaii to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and finally back home to the Bluegrass.
You just can't beat the beauty here.
When Thomas rolls sushi, it's like dinner and a show.
We make the sushi, the guests come up and talk to us. They can find out the daily seafood specials from the oysters to while we're running behind the sushi bar.
One thing that's always hot at the sushi bar is this, the signature Ruby roll. It's sushi that hasn't forgotten that beef is what's for dinner.
You know, of course, beef has to be.
We'll get to the beef, but first, the roll begins with seaweed paper and rice, which is spread out evenly and then flipped over.
We have a little asparagus, fresh avocado, tempura lobster, and skewer them so they stay straight. You can roll without the mat, but you want to shape it with the mat so you get your even design. Then we put beef tenderloin, shape the roll again.
Now, here's a good secret for cutting your sushi.
Sushi trick, you put a little saran wrap over the top. When you make your cuts, you get nice clean cuts. It's a secret.
Now, watch what happens next. Torch to perfection.
Cook it to about mid-rare, medium. It's a tea leaf. It's a little spicy aioli. A little sriracha, togarashi seasoning. Enough that it has a little bite to it, but it's not going to burn you. So we add a little bit of this on top. Tempura crunch, give it a little crunchiness. And then sweet soy sauce. A little wasabi, some pickled ginger. This is our Ruby roll.
A perfect place to sample sushi is in the lounge, where there's always action and entertainment. There's even a grand piano and a stage for live music right behind the bar. And every night at Jeff Ruby's, the headliner is the steak. It's dry-aged prime beef in just about any cut you would want.
So we have a 22-ounce bone-in porterhouse. This is one of our farther dry ages. Dry age is about 65 days. You get the nice strip on one end and then the fillet on the other. 16-ounce bone-in fillet. It's a really special cut. There's only 1 or 2 of those per cow. Prime New York strip in the back. That is 14 ounces. That's a 22-ounce. We like to call it a cowboy. It's actually a ribeye. That's the one we're going to cook for you guys today.
There's a lot of love that goes into this steak. We'll see the intense work that goes into making it perfect coming up.
Right where we want it.
But first, a starter that eats like a meal, escargot, which actually means snails. It's a staple at French restaurants that takes on a whole new flavor at Jeff Ruby's.
They're unique flavor. It's completely plated differently. It doesn't look like your traditional escargot.
This escargot is served with a luscious mushroom sauce.
So the best part about escargot usually isn't the snails. It's the sauce and all the sopping you get at the end with the bread, right? So a lot of garlic we use. A little bit of shallot's gonna go down. Take a little bit of white wine. That white wine helps to glaze the pan, get any of those stuck garlic bits off the bottom. It's also gonna start to build a sauce for us. We're gonna saute our mushrooms. These mushrooms are already cooked off. It's a mix of oysters, creminis, and a little bit of shiitakes.
The next ingredient is mushroom and herb-infused cream, which the chef makes from scratch.
It's really earthy. It goes really well with the escargot. So we're just dropping in some herbs. Right now it's rosemary, tarragon, just some parsley stems. We're gonna drop in some garlic cloves. And these are just button mushrooms. We leave the stems in, keep them whole. It's just gonna add that little bit of earthiness that we're looking for to pair with those escargot. That garlic brown a little bit. And then we're gonna steep it with heavy cream. So add that in there. So yeah, once we have that in there, we're just gonna let that steep, let that cream really infuse with those herbs, garlic and mushrooms. Kind of let that go for about an hour, so reduce it by about half. You can see by the sides it's kind of reduced down. It's really gonna get all those herbs, garlic infused to that cream is really what we're looking to do here. From there, we're gonna take our mushroom cream sauce. We're gonna drop it into the Vitamix. This is the secret of the chef. This is a Vitamix. This thing, I've yet to find what this thing can't puree. Top of the line. We're just gonna strain all the mushrooms out, all the aromatics, the garlic. We really just want that cream. That way we'll have a nice texture. Smells incredible.
The cream sauce joins the other mushrooms in the sauté pan, and then comes the escargot.
These actually come from Burgundy, France. They come in the shell. We just boil them, pop them out of the shell, and cool them down. So we're really just heating them up. You don't want to cook them anymore. A little pepper, fresh cracked always. So this is chives, parsley, a little bit of tarragon.
And you can't forget the most important secret ingredient.
Butter. Butter makes everything better, right? Just adding a little bit of that in there.
Once the butter's melted, it's ready to serve, and they do it differently here. This is another thing that sets Jeff Ruby's escargot apart from the rest.
This is a Wagyu beef bone. The outside's a bone, the inside's still full of marrow. Most of the time you can get these things for really cheap at your butcher. So we're just gonna hit that with a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. Just gonna pop that in the oven, 425, about 10-15 minutes. Nice and soft, ready to go. It's similar to butter, like a gelatinous butter. A whole lot of flavor in that. Set that right there on the plate. All right, so we're gonna take our nice escargot, a little bit of mushrooms and all that great cream sauce. And we're just gonna put it right inside of that bone. And once you get through all that escargot piled up there, you get to that bone marrow down at the bottom. It's like a extra little surprise for you.
And to make sure you enjoy all of the sauce, there's plenty of buttered and toasted sourdough bread to sop it up. Up next, the signature of Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, known as their JR Jewel.
Delicious.
Now this is definitely what's for dinner.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud. Nothing else is close. With support from the Kentucky Beef Council. In Kentucky, beef is still what's for dinner. And by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
We're back with more secrets of Bluegrass Chefs at Jeff Ruby's in Lexington, where it's not just a restaurant, it's what they call culinary entertainment. You gotta love the Wildcat Room, all dressed in blue for Cats fans. Horse lovers will feel right at home in the intimate Breeders' Room, with a table for 10 under a cascade of colorful jockey silks. The room surrounds you with memorabilia, including those familiar Jeff Ruby's jockey pants that were seen so many times in the winner's circle after big stakes races. And my favorite spot is the Bourbon Room, which pays tribute to Kentucky's master distillers with portraits and a signed bottle to go with each one. A steak dinner in here will make everyone feel like a king.
These steaks are all USDA prime.
Chef Dylan Jones is the executive chef at Jeff Ruby's Lexington. And if you think the dining rooms are nice, check out Dylan's Kitchen. It's a custom design by the Dine Company, equipped to turn out top quality steaks by the hundreds.
That's our setup. It's beautiful. You know, we run two full pull-out drawers. We can fit about 100 steaks at a time on these guys.
This one is called the JR Jewel, a 22-ounce cowboy ribeye, served with a tasty topper that delivers a real kick. But the first secret to this is the seasoning.
It's our proprietary Jeff Ruby's steak rub. We rub all of our steaks in this. This gets us our nice heavy char that we like to have on top of the steak. It's a great rub. We don't skimp on the seasoning here. This is one of our secrets. We get a nice rub on there. There's a secret. You can find this at the front door. Anytime you want, we'll sell it to you guys in a little 2-ounce jar. Take it home with you. Buy it at the front door.
With the steak fully coated in the rub, it's into the broiler, which is another secret to the Jeff Ruby steaks.
They're Montague broilers. They're imported from France. These are top of the line. They get about 1,600 degrees, giving that nice charred crust that we're really known for.
This is an industrial strength kitchen, but there is a secret to making this steak at home.
If you want to do it at home, you're going to want to break out a cast iron skillet and get that thing as hot as humanly possible. See, we got that nice hard char on one side. We're going to go ahead and flip that guy over. Let that other side do the same thing. Steaks are ready. They're about perfect mid-rare, right where we want them.
The steak is great just like this, but this one gets a special topper that turns it into the JR Jewel.
I'm going to reveal the secrets of the special topper. That's our chili rub. So we're going to start over here with our diced jalapenos. It's got a kick to it, but we like spicy. So a whole bunch of garlic cloves, just peeled garlic, and drop that right in there. Just gonna get that going. And from there, we're gonna add in our just blended olive oil, so 80-20 blend. We're gonna roast them down for about 2 hours. And cilantro is gonna go in. Most of our heat is gonna come from crushed red pepper flakes. We're gonna add in coriander, just a little bit of that, a little bit of cumin. And this is a mix of smoked paprika and chili powder. It's gonna give you a little more smokiness in there. So we're just gonna stir all that seasoning in there. We're gonna bring that guy to a simmer. Just let it go. Let it go on a simmer for about 2 hours. It's really low maintenance from here. All right, so here you're looking at the same thing we just put in. So there's all your garlic. Gets really nice and soft. You can tell. You can just kind of smash it. We're gonna strain all that out. We'll have a nice, beautiful chili oil in one pot. We'll have all those fixings in the other. And we're just gonna blend it together so it's a nice sauce texture, which is garlic, jalapenos, cilantro, and then all of our crushed red pepper flakes, seasonings. So we're gonna start to puree that. We're gonna pour some of that chili oil back in there. And that's gonna bring us up to the consistency that we're looking for. Right where we want it. We're just gonna rub that right here on this cowboy. Not too heavy, not too light. Just kind of let a little bit of that run. run down the side for you too. And she's just gonna get garnished with cipollini onion, a couple shishitos for you, cherry tomato. That's it. That's our JR Jewel. It's one of Mr. Ruby's favorites. 22-ounce cowboy with a little bit of heat on it. Bon appetit.
Don't go away. We have more secrets to come.